So next we're just going to talk about a hip hinge, and what we want to do on this is we want to set those feet straight ahead, about hip width apart. Straight ahead, hip width apart. What we want to do is tell them soft knees. So we don't want those knees hard locked out. We want them soft, and we want to freeze the knees at that point. So I don't want them moving at the knees anymore. What I want them to do now is I want them to retract those shoulder blades, brace that core like they're going to take a punch, and begin to drive those hips back as they allow that bar to slide down their body, and then they'll drive back up, pushing the hips through. Some common mistakes we can see is we tell them soft on the knees and they just begin to bend those knees. And what we can do is we can place them in front of a wall or in front of a cone, and we can have them reach those hips back to touch that wall. Sometimes we'll get some kids with hypermobility, and we can elevate their toes to create a greater stretch across the knee with that gastroc cocked up. The other common mistakes we can see is that bar begins to trail way out in front of them, putting a lot of strain and shear force on that lumbar spine. So we really want to make sure those hips are reaching back, but that bar is also tracking down the legs. The other thing we see is they begin to round that back out. Perfect demo. And what we can do is we can put a PVC pipe on their back and tell them to keep 3 points of contact, to keep the head in contact with that PVC pipe, to keep the thoracic spine right there between the shoulder blades in contact, and to keep that tailbone in contact. And another option is sometimes when we put them in front of the mirror and they begin to watch themselves move, they can self-correct some of these things. So there's just some easy ways to get them doing the right thing. We also want to keep that tripod foot as we drive back. Obviously that force is going to drive back through the heels, and then we'll kind of pull back through with the ball of that foot.